Welcome into the Fantasy Football Diagnostics Podcast, where we provide you with your weekly diagnosis of everything fantasy football. Whether it's season-long leagues, dynasty, DFS, or sometimes even IDP, we got you covered all year long. Let's do it. Let's get to it. Welcome into the Fantasy Football Diagnostics Podcast. And of course, I'm your host, John June. And of course, I got to have my guy, Greg Penniman, on here. Greg, what is good, man?
What is good? We're so close to that week 7. Hopefully we get past this death week of all these buys. Got this get money too. Be back at it, Got this head-to-head matchup. It's been a little while, and I think the series is tied now. Let's go.
Is it tied?
I feel like I had a
little win streak.
Nah. Yeah, exactly. 2-2, right there.
But I thought it was 3-2.
We haven't had a tiebreaker week, I feel like.
Okay. All right. So maybe it is 2-2. All right. I'll have to go check the math on that. But anyways, week 7 kind of did start. We had Thursday Night Football. So we're going to preview that real quick. But as we always do, game previews part 2. And obviously, got to give our starts to the week. But if you are looking to listen to any of the 1 p.m. game breakdowns, that was on episode 206, game previews part 1. So go back and check that out. But if you are here for the 4 p.m. games, the primetime games, that's what we're breaking down today. But as I mentioned, starting off the top with Thursday Night Football, some Thursday night takeaways as the Cleveland Browns undermanned, playing with a backup quarterback, a backup running back, receivers in and out of the lineup. Win 17-14, beating the Denver Broncos on the road. Greg, what was your first Thursday night takeaway?
Probably first and really only my major one that she should be shouted out. Daryl Henderson, of course, doing what he has to do for the spot start. We said we get that RB2 performance, but he got that RB1 performance. I think is going to probably definitely finish with these bye weeks. 22 carries, great volume, 146 yards, got the touch. Even with, I think he still has a role as long as one of these guys are out, Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt, especially with this great offensive line, the style that they want to do. They still want to run the ball. They ran a total 33 times. They're pretty much 50-50 on passing and running. If you have Dearness Johnson, I think he will have some little value with going forward as long as Chubb and Connor, one of those guys are out.
Yeah, it's not going to be hard for him to finish as a RB1 this week, man.
Yeah.
16 is on by, 24.8 PPR points on the day, and 146 rushing yards. You said, this offensive line was just getting after this Denver defense. And we talked about the number of injuries that they had at the linebacker position, and I feel like that had something to do with it as well. You got some inexperienced guys playing on the second level of that defense, and that's where a lot of that magic was happening, because the offensive line is blocking, and he gets to the second level and he starts making people miss and getting out in the open field. And Dearness Johnson looked really good.
They were very good. Yes, absolutely.
On the broadcast, his story and how this guy was. I found out after the game he was he had DM'd every AAF team to try to get a tryout. Ends up going to Orlando. As a guy from South Florida, so ends up having a good season there. Goes to the Cleveland Browns, and playing in that backfield, in that scheme, in that offense. We talk about it all the time with Kevin Stefanski and that outside zone run scheme. Makes it easy for these backs, and Dearness Johnson showed his stuff. So, we know that when Kareem Hunt is out, he'll be out at least another 2 games here. Nick Chubb will be the lead guy. Dearness Johnson will probably have some sort of role here, just because you got to keep Nick Chubb healthy. We saw Demetric Felton get involved as well. I think that was my takeaway, my first takeaway as well. My second takeaway is kind of what we talked about with Case Keenum, and I'm mentioning this, I don't know why I didn't pick the Browns to cover and win the game, because Case Keenum, like I had said, was like a pretty good quarterback. Not a pretty good quarterback, but he's an okay, serviceable quarterback. He's not going to sink your team, especially not a team like Cleveland that's going to, has the offensive line that they do, has the run scheme that they do. So I think that this Cleveland Browns offense could potentially stay afloat here in Baker Mayfield's absence. Greg, do you have another takeaway?
No, I mean, I got to do it just because the Browns did play, and Adele did have another bad game. 6 targets, only 2 receptions, catch rate still trash. He dropped another ball in and out the lineup. It's just like there's no buying here. You're never buying.
No, I don't want anything to do with Odell, so I'll just say that right now. I don't really want to attach myself to Odell Beckham. That's it. I'm out.
We get traded for his career, honestly.
You beat me into submission here, Greg. I'm done. That's it. That's it. No, but it was interesting. He did have a bad game to start. Like he's dropping a pass, like not even a pass. I think he dropped a couple in that first half.
Yeah, like slant routes, money catches for Odell.
Like, and then he goes out on the sideline trying to make a diving catch, which he also drops and re-injures his shoulder that he's dealing with, and then comes back and catches every other ball that was thrown his way, which didn't make any sense. So, it was interesting to me because we always talk about, well, you always talk about how this is a Baker Odell problem, but this was Case Keenum, so now it just seems like an Odell problem. So,
yeah, like, and then even if he gets hot, they'll just take him off to run the ball, so it's not like they'll continue to throw to him.
I mean, he wasn't playing well, and then now he's hurt. So, like, he wasn't playing well, and now he's hurt. That's not a good combination. So, yeah I'm out. I'm just gonna vent. Like, this Denver Broncos backfield, man. Like, it has to do something. Like, Javonte Williams managers, and I am one of them, right? Like, I have Javonte Williams scattered through a bunch of leagues. Like, we got lucky.
Yeah, very lucky with that touch. Very. Melvin Gordon got the touch too. You're lucky if you're a Melvin Gordon manager as well. Like,
but at least that was like in the beginning of the game, or like was it the second? Was the first
drive of the second half? Yeah.
So like, I don't know. That one felt more like this one felt cheap. It was like garbage time. Like, it wasn't helping any. It did not help the Denver Broncos like win the game or come close to winning the game. I mean, it just felt very garbage timey. And, four carries for 20 yards, 7 targets, 6 catches, 32 yards, and then that one touchdown, which was a 10-yard touchdown. So if he doesn't get that touchdown, we're talking about 52 scrimmage yards. 52 scrimmage yards on 10 touches for Javonte Williams. Like, I'm over it. I'm not over it because I'm going to keep putting him in my lineup at times because the running back situation is just atrocious out there.
Running backs, yeah.
But it's not. It's just disappointing. It really is. I mean, maybe it's only week 7. A lot of things could happen, but it's just I'm just gonna be upset about it over here.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who should be in the fantasy community. Like, he was a popular sleeper. I mean, at least he got the 6 receptions.
Yeah, I guess I have to correct myself, right? That touchdown came with like 5:17 left in the fourth quarter, so it wasn't that like cheap, but it just felt like I never watched that game thinking that Javonte Williams is gonna break it open or something. It just All right, let's move on. Let's break down some games, Greg.
Yes, sir.
Sunday, 4:05 p.m. This game, it's about revenge. It's all about revenge for everybody, right? You got the 0-6 Detroit Lions traveling to Los Angeles to take on the 5-1 Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are 15.5-point favorites here. Terms of the weather, we're good. DeAndre Swift for the Detroit Lions is questionable with a groin injury, the same groin he's been dealing with. TJ Hawkinson questionable with the knee, the same knee injury he's been dealing with. Defensive lineman Deshaun Hand ended up on injured reserve with a groin injury, and then offensive tackle Taylor Decker ends up on injured reserve with a finger injury. For the Rams, Sony Michel questionable with the shoulder. I mentioned the revenge status here because obviously you've got Matthew Stafford of the LA Rams taking on his former team in the Detroit Lions. And then you've got former Rams quarterback Jared Goff taking on his former team in the LA Rams. And that one has a little bit more intrigue because you got Sean McVay on the other side who willfully got rid of Jared Goff, trading draft capital and Jared Goff to get Matthew Stafford, which he clearly saw as a upgrade, a significant upgrade over Jared Goff. You're giving up that much draft capital and Jared Goff. You think that Matthew Stafford is significantly better than Jared Goff. And yeah, I just find a lot of interest. I'm just intrigued by that storyline in this game. Greg, where are you at with the game and the fantasy matchup?
I'm gonna take the under. I'm gonna take the Rams to cover. I'm gonna take the Rams to win. I do think they're just a better football team in all facets of the game. No matter how hard Detroit Lions they play, they got their coach crying and everything. They're not gonna survive. The D line of the Rams starts at the line of scrimmage. The rush game of the Rams, like it's all everything's an advantage for the Rams. Stafford is a QB1. Daryl Henderson, give me all of Daryl Henderson this week. Like favored. Sony Michel's banged up. Like it's RB1 volume right here. Yeah, Daryl Henderson's gonna get you a top 5 play. TJ Hawkins, the receivers, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, you're starting them, of course. Cooper Kupp's going to continue to heat up. Continue to be on fire. Robert Woods is heating up and doing a lot more. Give me Tyler Higbee as well as a tight end, low and tight end one in this matchup. And on Detroit side, the usuals, Swift and Hawk. Yeah, that's all I really want to touch. If you're in a deeper league, Amon-Ra St. Brown is probably going to be the other receiver getting your receptions, getting those targets. But yeah, I still think it's going to be real rough for Jared Goff. No matter how hard he wants to play well, yeah, you're taking your usuals.
Yeah, man, I'm with you, man. I take the under, taking the Rams to cover, taking the Rams to win. And that just means that we're expecting an absolute beatdown here because it could just go really bad for Jared Goff. Obviously you've got the Sean McVay component, which Sean McVay knows everything that Jared Goff can't do.
Right. It's not like Dan Campbell knows what Matthew Stafford can do.
Doesn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Just knows what he saw when he watched the film before he took the job. That's all he knows. But Sean McVay was in games with Jared Goff, understands what Jared Goff's weaknesses are, what gave them trouble, what they had to try to do as an offense to play around Jared Goff.
Yep.
So all of this is going to go straight to the defensive coordinator. So on the Detroit side, DeAndre Swift continues to be a borderline RB1. Mm-hmm. Honestly, feel like there's room for more there, especially if he can get healthier as this season progresses. Hawkinson in a nice spot. Again, the Jared Goff component is scares me, and I'm not sure I want to attach myself too much to him in this reverse revenge game, whatever you want to call it. But I do like Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's averaged 12 PPR points over the last 3 weeks. He's a wide receiver 36 in PPR leagues over that time span. You have to imagine that this game is going to be predicated on the quick passes. Amon-Ra St. Brown doesn't strike me as the type that would garner attention from Jalen Ramsey. So I think it's set up in a nice way. He's averaging almost 8 targets a game over these last 3 weeks, 21% target share. Actually leads the Lions in red zone targets as well during that time span. I think he's actually a sneaky decent play here in this spot. Daryl Henderson, another phenomenal spot for him. I almost wanted to go back-to-back starts of the week here, but with Daryl Henderson because he was my start of the week last week. But it's going to be a really nice spot for him. Cooper Kupp, again, in line to finish as the wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2, however you want to split it. And the Matthew Stafford again here in his revenge game, QB1. I think Woods is again in line for a nice game. Has been bouncing back, but believe that is going to be it for me. I'm just intrigued by this game here.
Yeah, for sure.
Moving on to the next matchup, it is the 2-4 Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Las Vegas to take on the 4-2 Las Vegas Raiders is a 49-point total. The Las Vegas Raiders are 3-point favorites here. In terms of whether this game's in the dome, so no concern there. Tight end for the Raiders, Nick Bowers, he's out with I don't even know what the injury is. Actually, to be honest with you, I'd never heard of Nick Bowers until I typed his name on this injury report. But Philadelphia, in terms of injuries, is okay. In terms of the game here, I'm going to take the over. I'm going to take the Vegas Raiders to cover. I'm going to take the Las Vegas Raiders to win this game. I don't know, man. I completely flipped on Vegas this week. I said last week, I want nothing to do with Vegas. Give me Darren Waller. That was it. But in that first game without John Gruden, obviously, following everything that happened. And so, but they came out, they played motivated, they played like a team that has an agenda here. And so, Philadelphia has kind of been playing the opposite. So I'm gonna take Vegas to win this game. I love Derek Carr this week. Absolutely love him. Think he's in a great spot. Darren Waller is bound for the bounce back week this week, and I love the matchup for him. And then Josh Jacobs also on his way, had a nice performance last week. I think he can repeat that. And then Henry Ruggs again. He's been somebody that we highlighted coming into the season. Hasn't always been productive week in and week out, but he had 3 for 97 last week and a touch. I think a guy with that kind of upside, especially with the bye weeks, if you're missing a CeeDee Lamb or Justin Jefferson or one of these guys, Henry Ruggs adds some nice boom play into your lineup potentially. And then for Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts can't help but be a QB1, so I'm just gonna continue to put him on my lineup. And I like Miles Sanders this week. He's kind of taking that backfield back away from Kenneth Gainwell, so I'm probably gonna lean towards playing him, especially again with the bye weeks and everything. Devontae Smith, although he did not come through last week against Tampa Bay, like him again this week. He's getting the target share, and I think Quez Watkins is the the other auxiliary piece that we want to play in this game. And then I don't have it here in my notes, but Dallas Goedert, obviously, if he's activated off the COVID list, which I think he will be, no Zach Ertz, who was seeing a 20% target share over these last 3 weeks. I think Dallas Goedert is back to that tight end 1 territory.
Yeah, with you on the over. I'm gonna take the Eagles to go to cover. I'm gonna take the Eagles to win. I think it's gonna be a wild game. I think the Eagles find a way. They've been close in a lot of these games. I think they get it done. As far as the game, I agree with you. Derek Carr is in a good spot here. Josh Jacobs is also in a good spot for RB1, low-end RB1 performance. And then the receivers, Henry Ruggs and Darren Waller, as far as the top pass catchers, I'm trusting those two as well. On the Eagles side, Jalen Hurts walking QB1 every week, no matter what he does. So you got to play him as such. And as far as the running game, Miles Sanders he's getting good efficiency last game. So I will hope they give him more carries. They seem to, he had 6.2 yards per carry last week. They get positive plays on it. He's a top 30 play for me on those 11 touches he got last week. And receiving, Devontae Smith, I do like him to bounce back. His targets are still there and everything. So it's just a matter of, getting him in the end zone and getting him more downfield as far as, this Eagles offense. And yeah, Dallas Goedert bounce back up to where we projected him to be early in the year. Thought Ertz was just fizzed out of this offense. They traded him instead, so that's even better. Dallas got a top 5 play for me, I think, this week.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, man, no matter how bad it looks for Jalen Hurts, he will finish the QB1.
Yes, sir.
It could be fourth quarter. He's got 6 minutes left to play. He's got 10 or 11 points, and he'll still finish as a QB1. And I don't know how he does it.
Crazy.
Moving on to this next matchup, 4:25 p.m. We got the 3-3 Chicago Bears traveling to Tampa Bay to take on the 5-1 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is a 47.5-point total. The Bucs are 12.5-point favorites here. In terms of the weather, there is going to be some rain in this game, so definitely want to look out for that. And then in terms of the injuries, Jimmy Graham is out because he is placed on the COVID IR with a positive COVID test. So he will be out of this game. Deshaun Gibson, the safety, he's out with a hip injury. Damian Williams is also still out as he tested positive for COVID as well. So he continues to be out after missing last week. On Tampa Bay, Richard Sherman is out with a hamstring. Levante David is out with an ankle. Antonio Brown is also out with an ankle. And then Rob Gronkowski is out with a ribs injury. Greg, where are you at with this matchup?
I'm gonna take the under. I'm gonna take Tampa to cover. I'm gonna take Tampa to win, even with their injuries that banged up. But on Tampa side, Tom Brady's just gonna rely on Mike Evans and Godwin all day. So I still like Tom Brady in this matchup. I like both Mike Evans and Godwin to give you high end wide receiver twos. Both of them probably could finish this with a wide receiver 1 week. All these targets are going to funnel to them. And Tyler Johnson, if you're in a deeper league and you need to get an ad, it could be the replacement for AB. But I'm more willing to just rely on those two. That Mike Evans and Godwin gets all the targets. Leonard Fournette, I love him in this matchup. Continue to play him as a low end RB1 with all these bye weeks. And yeah, on the Bears side, they are continuing to rely on this run game. So if Damon Williams can't go, he won't be activated. We'll find out probably tomorrow. But I want like Khalil Herbert, if he can't go, as a high-end RB2, got some RB1 upside. They're probably going to use him in both the carries and targets game, because that's how teams usually attack the Tampa Bay defense with their running backs. And as far as the passing game, I'm out on Allen Robinson. I have to see it. I'm all just probably gonna play Darnell Mooney. It's the only intrigue I see in this matchup as a pass catcher.
I'm going to take the under here, taking Chicago to cover, taking Tampa Bay to win. I hear you what you're saying with Khalil Herbert. I was going to say it's tough to play him, but he'll get some sort of volume through the pass game, and Chicago wants to run the football.
Yeah,
so
they do. They really do.
Khalil Herbert will get the ball here. So I'm with you. I'm especially with these bye weeks and whatnot. I'm willing to flex him this week. Justin Fields, I think he could have a good game. If there was a game that I had to pick on the schedule, it'd be this one. Tampa Bay's, obviously we know what they've been dealing with in the secondary. Justin Fields is not, the Chicago offense is not going to be able to sit back and run this game plan where it's ball control and run the clock. They're going to have to keep pace with Tom Brady and this Bucs offense. They're going against a defense that's pretty good against the run, and so they're going to have their issues there. So they're going to have to pass. And Justin Fields, he's going to scramble enough as well to make some kind of plays with his legs as well. Darnell Mooney is the Bears' leader in target share since Justin Fields took over. So, continue to trot him out there, especially in this matchup. Allen Robinson, though, is not too far behind in those targets. He's seeing a 25% target share to Mooney's 28% target share. Again, it's just a smaller pie that we're dealing with here.
Right.
So I continue to I would trot Allen Robinson out there this week, especially this week in this matchup, especially considering the situations that we're dealing with. And then I'm moving him. Right after this. Promise.
Oh man, his highest week is wide receiver 47. Oh,
I get it. I totally understand, but this is if there's a game on the schedule and the target, it's not like he's got a 16% target share. We're talking about a 25% target share. So if that pie gets bigger, his slice gets larger. This is purely a process play.
Got you. I'll be willing to still play him over Odell, so I'll give you that.
I think you would, if you could put yourself in your lineup over Odell, Greg, I think you could do it. But I'm going to go Tom Brady, obviously a QB1. Look, man, Lenny, he's an RB1 without a doubt.
Yes, sir.
I have no question about it. The matchup is good for him. He's going to get the volume. He's going to get touchdown opportunity. He's going to get receptions. I don't know how many. There's probably maybe 8 or 9 running backs I'd rather have in fantasy than Leonard Fournette right now. If I'm being honest, I mean, just from his role every week and what he is asked to do for that offense. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin definitely get that bump without AB. And then I think OJ Howard gets one too with Gronk out as well. So curious to see how this game turns out, because Justin Fields, Allen Robinson, they're both on fantasy watch, and if it doesn't happen this week, it's never going to happen. All right, let's move on. Sunday, 4:25. We've got the 1-5 Houston Texans traveling to Arizona to take on the 6-0 Arizona Cardinals. 17.5-point favorites, those Arizona Cardinals are, and a 47.5-point total. This game is in a dome, so there's no weather concerns there. In terms of injuries, Rashard Lawrence is out with a calf for the Arizona Cardinals. Daryl Daniels is out with a hamstring. Kylie Fitz is on injured reserve with a concussion, and then Chandler Jones is out with an illness. Houston, on the other hand, is okay in this game. I'm going to take the over here. I'm going to take Arizona to cover. I'm going to take Arizona to win. Kyler Murray, K1, is a QB1 for sure. DeAndre Hopkins revenge game.
This is
no
true.
Bill O'Brien, but it's still a DeAndre Hopkins revenge game.
This is true. Yeah, so, he doesn't like the ownership or anything. So, he's against the whole organization.
Wide receiver 1 finish. Definitely coming this week. Chase Edmonds in as a mid-range RB2. James Conner also slides in as an RB2 as well. Good game script, favorable game script for him. Christian Kirk is probably the auxiliary wide receiver that I want to play, but I will say I am playing Rondell Moore in some spots. Don't at me. For Houston, it's one man. It's Brandon Cooks.
Yes, sir. You love it. You love it. Yeah, predictable. They got the good matchup. So, yeah, I want that.
Greg, where you at, man?
I'm going to take the under. I'm going to take Arizona to cover as well and Arizona to win. Yeah, I'm with you on Houston side. It's all Brandon Cooks and Brandon Cooks again. On the Cardinals side, Kyler Murray, QB1 as usual. Chase Edmonds, I do like both of the running backs. Just again, you're using them with these bye weeks. Definitely Chase Edmonds and James Conner as a sliding from that RB3 to RB2 territory. D-Hop, I'm wanting to see more of those targets, but he does so much. Whatever he gets, he's gonna give you a wide receiver 1 performance. Yeah, and Christian Kirk seems to have been the scale was tilting back and forth for early in the season, but Christian Kirk seems to be getting that auxiliary role. I'm still on stash mode with Rondell Moore, but I'm getting a little more impatient week by week. So.
Yeah, no, and you made a good point off air last week about Zach Ertz and how that's going to affect Rondell Moore potentially, because there is more mouths to feed in this offense. And Zach Ertz is coming from an offense. I don't think either one of us spoke about him, but I think he's definitely in play.
Yeah.
But there's a situation, right, where Zach Ertz is coming from a team. Zach Ertz throughout his career has like 17, 18, 20% target shares, sometimes even higher. And then this is an offense that the tight end was seeing like a 9, 10, 13% target share. So you have to imagine that they'll meet somewhere in the middle. You don't trade for a player to not use him. At least I don't think so. So yeah, it's curious to see what happens with Rondell Moore. I will say he had 4 rush attempts last week. It was 3 or 4. So, we've seen Chase Edmonds get banged up at time. I'm just saying Rondell Moore probably, like you said, is a stash, but I think that a role for him is like closer than we might think. But yeah, either way. Moving on to this next matchup, Sunday Night Football, 8:20 p.m. The 2-4 Indianapolis Colts travel to Santa Clara to take on the 2-3 San Francisco 49ers, 44.5-point total. Niners are 4.5-point favorites. In terms of the weather here, there is a 99, according to Kevin Roth, who does some weather work for Roto Grinders, 99% chance of rain and thunderstorms in this game. In terms of injuries, Rock Ya-Sin, defensive back, is out with an ankle. By the way, the Colts like nobody's playing. Rocky Sin out with an ankle. Braden Smith out with a foot. Jordan Wilkins out with an illness. Paris Campbell has a foot injury. He's on IR. Julian Blackman, he's out when he tore his Achilles in practice on Wednesday. For the San Fran side, Trent Williams, he's doubtful with an ankle and an elbow. Javon Kinlaw out with a knee. Jermichael Hasty will be making his return to the backfield to muddle it up some more for us. Maurice Hurst out with I don't have the injury here, but Trey Lance out with the knee, so no vulturing Jimmy Garoppolo here this week. My stream of the week, who again 99% chance of rain, who knows? But Greg, what you tell us what you think?
Yeah, hopefully maybe NFL's been doing a good job of just kind of delaying the game during heavy rain, so maybe we get some good weather when they play. But I'm gonna take the over. I'm gonna take the Colts to cover, but I'm gonna take San Fran to win the game. As far as if it's gonna be raining crazy on the Indy side, Carson Wentz hasn't been killing you. He's been keeping his picks down as only one pick on the year, 9 touchdowns. That's pretty good. I think he does have some QB2 value, especially all the bye weeks. I think you can slide him in to not kill you. With all the injuries though, with Ty being out, Paris being out, continue hopefully Michael Pittman getting that heavy target share. The healthy players we want to see out there, Pittman and JT should be continue to hopefully get the ball. We won't see no Marlon Mack 5 carries and nothing like that. I mean, we might see it still, but I do like JT in this matchup. Continue to roll him out as a low end RB1. And if he gets the ball 5 more times, he could be a top 3 play. And for the 49ers side, Jimmy G is in a good spot here. Hopefully, these rains don't affect both these quarterbacks. And as far as the receivers, you're just continuing to roll out Deebo Samuel. George Kittle, yeah, it's tough, but yeah,
George Kittle's on IR, so
he's out. Yeah. So Ross Dwelly, you probably added him if you were a George Kittle manager. Yeah, you're rolling him out there. In these bye weeks, especially, you're probably having in a tough spot. Other than that, the only running back I'm attempting to trust is Eli Mitchell as a RB3 play.
So I also failed to mention in terms of when I was talking about the weather, there also is 20-mile-per-hour winds expected in this game. So
maybe I'll change that to that under.
I'll actually just read. Yeah, right. I'm going to change. That's a good point. Changing this to this under here. So I'm just going to read exactly what Kevin Roth has in his report. Increasingly confident in very ugly weather for San Fran. Models continue to show rain all game and likely heavy rain at that. Plus, we'll see winds gusting over 20 miles per hour. It's wet, it's windy, it's downright ugly, and I expect the passing game will struggle because of it. I'm expecting a grinded out, run and D kind of game. So,
JT.
you would like to imagine, but we'll see. I'm going to take the under here. I'm going to take San Fran to cover. I'm going to take San Fran to win. Michael Pittman. He was having a good season. He's in terms of target share, it's just not showing up in the box score every week. So someone I would probably look to buy if I could. It'd probably, use this weather as an opportunity.
Yeah, buy a low moment. Yep.
Like you said, Carson Wentz, he's been playing well, and I liked him prior to the reports of this rain. So, I don't know what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
Feed JT, like that's really
man.
Just it. Just feed JT, I just 2 words. That's it. Mo Alley Cox, stream him up, and then Deebo Samuel for the Niners will continue to be the lead guy there. Especially, I think he's probably the least affected wide receiver in this in this weather.
Yep.
It'll be fine. He'll just get 5 more rush attempts because of it. And then Jimmy G, who's my stream of the week. The weather scares me a little bit, so I'm probably going to pull off that a little bit. Elijah Mitchell is the guy in the backfield that I want to play, though.
Yeah.
Moving on to this next matchup, this last matchup here, we've got Monday Night Football, 8:15 p.m. The 3-2 New Orleans Saints travel to Seattle to take on the 2-4 Seattle Seahawks. This game has a 43.5 point total. The New Orleans Saints are 3-point favorites. In terms of the weather, this game here, also expected to be some rain. There's going to be a wet weekend this weekend, so be mindful of that when setting your lineups and everything. But 91% chance of rain expected in this game. Deontay Harris and Taysom Hill, DMPs, both questionable. I think Deontay Harris is dealing with some kind of lower extremity injury, and Taysom Hill is dealing with a concussion. The Saints actually are also getting a bunch of guys back as well, so that'll be I'm sure that'll be a nice boost for them. Alex Collins was questionable, did not participate in practice with a groin injury. So it looks like he might not play in this game. DK Metcalf, he was questionable, did not participate in practice with a foot injury. And then Rashad Penny is returning from injured reserve. We don't know how long he'll be returning for. It's likely he could end up back on the injured reserve, just Rashad Penny being Rashad Penny. But looks like he will be the starting running back, potentially. That's what the reports say. Which is kind of, I don't know. It's just
that's
that
what
he just
I'm hearing too.
leapfrogs like DJ Dallas like right away. But I don't know.
It could be a depth chart thing. They might not actually use him as a starter numbers. We'll see.
We'll see. But Greg, where are you at with this matchup, man? Oh wait, you did the last matchup.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to. So I'm going to take the over here. I'm going to take the over here. I'm going to take the over. I'm going to take the Saints to cover, and I'm going to take the Saints to win this game. Alvin Kamara in line to be an RB1 this week. This rain makes it tough to love Jameis, but I do like the matchup. If I had someone to play in this past game, it would be Marquez Callaway. And I'm not playing anybody on the Seattle side.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take the over. I'm gonna take the Saints to cover. I'm gonna take the Saints to win. On the Saints side, yeah, Jameis, this stretch for him, like we talked about before the bye, he's got a really good schedule coming up. His touchdown to interception ratio has been very solid, 12-3, so that's great. I'll play him in some spots because with the bye weeks he could QB2 performance for me. Alvin Kamara, though, is the only other person I want. And Marcus Callaway, especially with Deontay Harris being banged up, I think he's a play. And, on Seattle side, I mean, you still got – I want DK still. I still want DK. And
I mean, if he's playing, his DMP was
that's true.
dealing with the foot.
That's true.
That's my only question. If he plays, I could put him out there. But I'm reading this now, 96% chance of rain. That so went up from 91 to 96, and there's 19 miles per hour of wind expected in this game as well. So be mindful of that.
Yo, just start DK Metcalf at running back. Honestly, all your running backs are hurt. That'd be fire. Pete Carroll still wants to run the ball, but I mean, I'm
at quarterback, DK Metcalf at running back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have a lot of these Seattle running backs: Carson, Alex Collins. So if you're in a spot like me, you're probably forced to pick up DJ Dallas or Rashad Penny to have a fill-in this week. I'm not sure who would be the one to get more carries or more touches. You would think, it would be DJ Dallas, but just because he's been more active, he's played football recently. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, curious to see how this backfield plays out, and if you have to make a decision, that's tough because it's on Monday Night Football. But I think I would still take the shot on DJ Dallas. If I had to play one of those guys, I'd probably be. He saw 5 targets last week. You have to imagine they're not going to give Rashad Penny this massive workload when he first. Then again, it's Seattle, so they really
they do make sense ever. Yeah, true. Pete Carroll's like Chris Carson's gonna be fine. The next day he goes on IR. It's crazy.
It's Alex Collins is gonna practice today. I think he'll do that, and then just doesn't practice.
What is going on?
It's like, Rashad Penny, you're back from injury. Here's 25 carries.
Oh.
Oh man. All right, let's move on to this money time, man.
Yes,
week here. And you know what? I'm feeling froggy, so I'm elite. Going with this quarterback start of the week here. Ryan Tannehill versus Kansas City. Greg said they got to show us twice, man.
Yes.
So I think all the attention for the Chiefs will be on Derrick Henry. Again, Taney's getting his weapons back, healthy. Julio Jones, AJ Brown, and no team has allowed more fantasy points per dropback on the season than Kansas City. This game has by far the highest total on the week. There's no rain. There's no wind. Start Tannehill up.
I like that for sure, especially these bye weeks. Tannehill is going to be in a lot of lineups this week with a lot of confidence. But I'm gonna go, I hinted to him. Aaron Rodgers going against Washington. He's QB 13 on the year thus far, but I expect top 5, top 3 performance for him in this cake matchup against Washington, giving up over 300 yards, almost 3 touchdowns to quarterbacks. The key for Rodgers, is getting it down the field. He's top 10 in his position in deep ball attempts. Those are passes that are 20 yards or long in the air, but he's only completing like 29% of those passes. So I'm expecting Rodgers to get that up. That's very on Rodgers like for one of the best quarterbacks of all time. His receivers on the perimeter have cake matchups. I'm expecting 3 touchdowns for Aaron Rodgers, maybe 4. I'm just letting you know.
Oh yeah, oh man, and then I was listening to JJ Zacharias the other day, talked about Devontae Adams and his yards to touchdown conversion and how he should have more touchdowns than he does right now. And if there's a blow up spot, this is it. So,
yes, sir.
Greg, my running back start of the week. The people need to hear it. I've been waiting to do this for like ever, man. Cordarrelle Patterson versus the Miami Dolphins. Patterson is the RB4 on over the last 3 weeks, averaging 23.1 PPR points per game, had 21 touches in his last game against the New York Jets, gets to go against the Miami defense that is 10th in PPR points allowed to running backs over the last 3 weeks, 4th on the year in targets per game to the running back position. They're 3rd in rushing touchdowns allowed to running backs. They've given up 9 total touchdowns on the year to running backs, 7 rushing, 2 receiving. As we know, Patterson gets it done either way, rushing or receiving, has 5 touchdowns already on the year. I think he's going to have himself a day here.
Yeah, man. Waiver wire pickup of the year continuing. You got to keep it going. You said you don't want to do the back-to-back, but I'm going to just do it for us. Daryl Henderson going against Detroit. This matchup is so good, man. We like to attack that Detroit rush defense. He's tied for RB9 in fantasy points per game in PPR leagues. I'm willing to even buy high on this guy as far as leagues, getting RB1 opportunities and carries, top 12 in routes run at 20 per game. His floor is there, and the matchup just gives you all the upside that you need. Detroit giving up the 6th most rushing yards to running backs at 114 per game. They're going to be favored. It's going to be a multi-touchdown day for Henderson.
No, I love this one, man. I knew that you were gonna. I knew you were gonna do it. I knew you were gonna do it for FFDX and get it done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My wide receiver start of the week. I really like this Carolina offense, and so I found a way to get myself into it. DJ Moore going up against the New York Giants, 15th in PPR points by wide receivers. DJ Moore is at 17.2 PPR points per game. New York Giants are 6th over the last 3 weeks in PPR points allowed to wide receivers on the season. On the year, rather, the Giants have allowed a 71.9% catch rate to wide receivers, which is the 2nd highest in the league. They've also allowed 7% of their opponents' targets to opposing wide receivers to go for touchdowns, which is 8th in the NFL. DJ Moore's been balling. He's the lead target getter for the Panthers. I expect that to continue. Also like Robbie Anderson this week, though, too. So, I think you could even co-start them as wide receiver starters for the week.
I do like that for sure. I'm going with Calvin Ridley going against Miami. I'm trying to catch this blow spot. I want it. Calvin Ridley just set up for a great map opportunity here. Miami's been both bad against the rush and the pass this year with running backs and wide receivers. On the team, Calvin Ridley is on with a pass 41.4 pass plays a game. That's 2nd in the league. High volume there. He's running a lot of routes. I think this is a great spot for him. Cordarrelle Patterson, we know he's going to eat. Calvin Ridley is going to be that 2nd guy for Matt Ryan, who's obviously, if you like both these guys, Matt Ryan's definitely played too.
Definitely, man. I like that one. My tight end start of the week. I'm calling the shot. I'm calling him out. Darren Waller. Got to have a big time game here this week, and really have that tight end 1 week that we expect when we draft a player like him in round 2 or round 3. The matchup is set up nice here too against Philadelphia. Like I said, I like Derek Carr a lot this week, and Darren Waller is his number one guy. So I think that Darren Waller's got to have that kind of game this week.
Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna go a little deep in the bag, but not too deep. Heavy streamer this week. Gotta go Ricky Seals-Jones going against the Houston Texans defense. They're horrible against tight ends this year. Giving up the third most points in PPR leagues, and just in general, this guy's been active and getting way more usage with this team, have gone from 4 targets to 9 and 6 targets last week, being a huge filler for Logan Thomas, and I think he continues that and gets in the end zone.
Nah, man, I definitely like that one. He was also one of my guys last week, so definitely gotta have. He's been having a good season.
Yep.
Logan Thomas has been out, so definitely like that. All right, man. Let's get on to that get money, man. And it's been so long since we played. I don't even know
it's an
who
odd
has
week.
what.
But I feel like the odd week I took first and week 1, first pick.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like you did. So this is an odd week, so it's your week.
Yeah.
All right, Greg. Go ahead. Take.
I feel like I just keep saying that just so I can get first pick.
Right. Just so you can keep.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's somebody keeping track at home.
I know, right? I know.
Like Greg's a fraud.
Yeah. This is tough though. There's a lot of guys I really like, want to get in my lineup, but I'm gonna go Daryl Henderson first. Lock that in as my RB1 at 8,000. I like this value.
Devontae Adams, wide receiver 1, 9,000.
All right, so I might as well take Aaron Rodgers now so I can eat from that as my quarterback, 7,900. Slot him in there. QB start of the week.
The game within the game. I'm actually going to take my running back start of the week in Cordero Patterson, 8,000.
Word. Since you took Devontae Adams, I'm going to take Cooper Kupp as my wide receiver 1 at 8,800. I have some money, so I'm going to slide down to the next best wide receiver on the slate.
Okay. I'm like wondering now, should I put Cordero Patterson at running back or a wide receiver?
Oh, man.
I'm going to go. Oh, man. I'm actually going to go Miles Sanders, 5,900.
Okay.
At running
back. For my second wide receiver, I'm going to take Calvin Ridley, my wide receiver start of the week, 7,300.
For my second wide receiver, I'm actually going to take DJ Moore, 7,700.
I like that because my third wide receiver is Robbie Anderson at 5,500 in that same matchup against the Giants.
For my tight end, I'm going to go Darren Waller, 6,800, my tight end start of the week there.
As my RB2, I'm going to go as my honorable mention start of the week, Damian Harris going against the Jets at 6,800. Slide him in there for sure.
Hold on. Sorry. Trying to make some decisions over here. For my third wide receiver, I'm going to go Allen Robinson.
Okay. For my flex, I'm going to take Jalen Waddle. He's going to eat up a lot of PPR, half PPR, even FanDuel contest, but I like him in this matchup. 5,900, super cheap, so I'm sliding in there flex.
All right. So with my flex spot, I'm actually going to go Michael Carter.
Okay.
Of the New York Jets, 5,600.
And then at tight end, I'm gonna take my tight end start of the week, Ricky Seals-Jones, 5,400. Going against Green Bay.
For my defense, I'm actually going to take the Jets defense, 3,300. They're going up against the Jets offense gives up the most fantasy points to defenses, but the New England offense gives up the second most.
Okay.
So low key. So I'm gonna pick the Jets here.
Word. My defense, I'm gonna take the Las Vegas Raiders. My defense stream of the week, going against Philly at 4,200. And yeah, there it is.
For me, got one more spot here. It's my quarterback, and 7,600. My quarterback start of the week here, Ryan Tannehill. So that's that. All right, Greg, read it off, man.
So I got Aaron Rodgers at quarterback at 7,900. I have Daryl Henderson, my running back start of the week, at 8,000 with Rodgers. Damian Harris, RB2, 6,800 going against the Jets. Cooper Kupp is my wide receiver 1 at 8,800. Calvin Ridley at my wide receiver 2 spot, 7,300. Robbie Anderson going against the Giants at 5,500 is my wide receiver 3. Ricky Seals-Jones, tight end at 5,400. Jalen Waddle, my flex at 5,900, and my defense, the Las Vegas Raiders, going against Philadelphia for 4,200.
Yep. Wasn't even saying anything important, so it's all
good. Cool. It's all good.
For my lineup, I got my quarterback start of the week, Ryan Tannehill, 7,600. Miles Sanders at running back, 5,900. Cordell Patterson as my other running back for 8,000. Devontae Adams as my wide receiver 1 for 9,000. DJ Moore is my wide receiver 2. My start of the week, 7,700. Allen Robinson, my wide receiver 3, 5,800. Darren Waller, my tight end start of the week at 6,800. Michael Carter, 5,600 in my flex, and then the Jets defense, 3,300. Yeah, let's see what happens, man.
Yes, sir.
Chips fall where they may. But everybody, we appreciate y'all kicking it with us for the game previews part 2. Make sure you come back next week as we do the week 7 recap and look ahead to some waivers for week 8. Good luck this weekend, y'all. Make sure to stay plugged in with those games, plugged in with us. Make sure you're following the accounts at FF Diagnostics. Make sure you're following Greg at we_made it on Instagram, at gmoney_truth on Twitter. You can follow me at JR Football Nerd. Until next time, y'all, have a good one, and we are out of here.